You're now listening to Unfiltered with Mia, where filters fade and real connection begin. Each week, I sit down with inspiring guests, all share solo reflection for raw and honest conversation about growth, challenges, and the wins that shape us. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Unfiltered with Mia, but this time, Dating Diaries edition. Hello, Marlis.
Hi, Mia.
So as you can tell, Marlis is my guest for today for the Dating Diaries. I'm so happy that you're here with us. Marlis has been one of my all-time guests that are always happy to return. Whenever I message her, I was like, are you ready for an episode? Yes, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited to be back on your podcast.
I just love it. And oh my God, it feels like ages since last time we've seen each other. I think it was ages.
It's been too long.
Yeah, way too long. But in the meantime, life has been happening for both of us. I've seen you keep painting, I love your journey as well. Because even though we don't see each other, I still follow the journey. The full-on journey about self-love and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, this is a bit of a twist because we're talking about dating. This is a topic that I always wanted to have a chat with you because for some reason, I always kind of realized that we had not the same story, but the same thing going on. Whether that was exes, that was moving to Dubai, that was situationship, you name it.
Yeah, we have a lot of parallels in that way.
And I was like, oh wow, whenever I would tell you stories, you'd be like, girl, it was the same for me. And I was like, oh shoot, you know?
Yeah.
So obviously, let's dive right into it. How's your dating life going?
Right now it's not really spicy, I guess. Could be spicier. I mean, I'm putting myself out there. I'm trying to meet new people and just having an open mind. But am I dating anybody right now? No. It's been a long time since I've officially been in a relationship with somebody. So I've kind of gone on dates. But as of right now, single Pringle. So,
okay.
So yeah, just embracing the journey of having an open mind and trying to see what's out there.
Of
and
course.
Yeah,
no,
so, yeah.
100%. Have you been seeing someone, talking to someone?
Right now, no.
Okay. I love it because I'm also, guys, you don't know, I'm also asking her because I don't know what's been going on.
Yeah, I know, we haven't caught up outside of this podcast.
So right now I'm just like, so is there somebody that could be potential?
No. The funniest thing is the last interesting, I guess, experience was a little bit over a month ago, and I got ghosted by somebody. It was just somebody that I had a crush on, and I initiated. I slid in his DMs, and we went out a couple times, and then it kind of just got dropped off. So yeah, we can maybe dive into that a little bit. But
Jesus, guys, come on, man! Like, if you don't want to pursue something, just say it. Don't freaking ghost. So. Similar to this situation, I've been talking about that and I've repeated myself, but I'll say it again because I just don't know why people ghost.
Yeah.
Like, I would tell you frankly, like, hey, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just don't get the purpose of why, because, okay, I'll give you why I'm fuming about people ghosting.
Let's go.
That was probably... maybe not a year back, but a long time ago, like a couple of months ago. There was this guy at the gym that I kept seeing, and I was like, you're kind of cute. Now, he's not my typical guy I would go for, but there was something about him that I was like, he comes to the gym every day. I see him working. There was something about him, Me, I'm an old school kind of girl, and I like when a man approach me.
Yeah.
I don't usually feel comfortable when it's me who needs to make the first step. But then I was like, do you know what? You've been on my mind for a while. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then I remember that day I went to the gym with Eric, and I was like, if he's at Hungry Wolf, which is like the cafe next to the gym, I would write him a note and give like, I will find a way to kind of start a conversation.
Okay.
And I actually walked out the gym hoping that he wouldn't be there, but he was there. So I was like, oh, shoot, now I have to do something. And I just felt uncomfortable to kind of go and talk to him because it was quite late. And I was like, what am I going to tell him? Like, hey, how are you? I've been seeing you at the gym. So I asked the waitress, I was like, can I have a piece of paper? I want to write a note and give it to him before I leave. So I was like, hey, you're kind of cute. I'd like to get to know you more. This is my number.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I said, I just left.
Did you give it to him?
No, I asked the waitress to give it to him.
Oh.
I was like, just wait for me to go and then give it to him. Because I was like,
how would he know it was you?
I mean, I don't know. I freaked out. I was like, it was too much for my brain that night. And I was like, take it and that's it. Okay. So obviously I waited that night and I was like, maybe he's not going to text. But he did text.
Oh, nice.
He was like, hey, I got your note. Thank you for your note. La la la, with a smiley face. And then he was like, are you from the UK? Because I gave him my personal number, which is a UK number.
Yeah.
And then he was like, are you from the UK? Blah, blah, blah. And something, I don't really remember what he asked me. Another question. Oh, how long you've been in Dubai or something along the line. And I replied to the text and I said, hey, actually, I said, I'm glad to be like, obviously reading you. No, I'm not from the UK. You used to live in the UK. I've been living in Dubai. And how's your morning going? Never replied to my message. So me going all hype, like, oh my God, he texted me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. And I'm just like.
Did you give him your Instagram or anything?
No, nothing.
So he had no idea who you even were, what you looked like, none of that.
No.
And so he messaged you.
Yeah.
And then.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That was it. It's the beginning and the end.
It's so anticlimactic.
It's like the beginning and the end of the story. And I'm just like, great. Thumbs up.
Yeah. But I think kudos to you for trying. I think because it's really hard. And I think as women as well, we're not usually primed to go after the guy. And sometimes I feel like I always get conflicting information as to if you should, if you shouldn't. And sometimes I think the philosophy of if you want it, you should go after it. Like go after what you want. Or so in that way, I think it's great that, you did what you did, because if you're just going to wait for something to happen, then it's a bit like, okay, partially complacent if you do have a crush on somebody.
Yeah.
I think what you did was right in the sense of like at least doing like the initial outreach, but clearly he didn't follow up. And so then that tells you that, it's the classic, he's just not into you, or he just didn't want to pursue it or whatever.
Which is fine. Absolutely fine. Listen, again, this is something I always say. I don't expect everyone to like me. There's certain people, but it's just about the act of like, if I were him, and that's me being me, I'd be like, listen, it was lovely for you doing this action, but I just want to let you know, maybe I have a girlfriend or I'm not interested or like something along the line. But thank you for that,
Yeah, it's like maybe communication or acknowledging or something. But correct. I think he probably felt like he wasn't that invested into the situation. So he didn't feel like he needed to say more than that. Yeah. And sometimes I think maybe we put a lot of pressure on people to be like, they need to do X, Y, Z sometimes.
What's your take about, obviously I've been thinking when you talk about that, it's like obviously we women, we want to settle down, we want to find our Prince Charming and be all lovey-dovey and like, do you feel like we set too much expectation? Or would you call it standards?
I think standards. I think having high standards is a good thing. Naturally, having high expectations is a good thing. But I think it's also about maybe being a little bit realistic, but never lowering your standards. I think that's what it comes down to, is to not lower your standards for somebody just so you can have companionship.
Of course.
Or just so you can have somebody to say marry or have a boyfriend or girlfriend. So I think that not lowering your standards is where it kind of rides, but
But I like that. The thing is, a lot of people, when I started, obviously, when I mentioned about dating in Dubai and all of that, a lot of people are like, oh, dating in Dubai is bad and men are bad and this and this. But I'm glad you're here because I want to also add that other side of the story, the other side of the spectrum, that dating in Dubai is not bad, but dating in Dubai might be a little bit trickier and harder.
Yeah, I think because of cities, big cities, and the demographic of people that are here, it's not like your typical kind of scene. It's a lot of expats that are in Dubai.
Correct.
And so the game is a little different.
Yeah,
but I think,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but
No,
like,
no.
I think perpetuating a lot of negativity around it is not making it any better, to be honest. And I'm trying to move away from saying that, oh, dating in Dubai is so crap or whatever, or like men are trash. And I think the more we say that, the more we believe it's true.
And then we kind of create that block.
Yeah.
You know, that,
and then we see more of that.
Yeah.
We see more of bad dating and men are trash. I'm like, okay, let me try to like rewire my brain a little bit and be like, no, dating is fun in Dubai and men can be great. Because I've seen proof of that in my life. I've seen proof of the opposite as well.
Okay.
That men are trash, but then
Yeah.
I've also seen where men aren't. So I think it's just maybe trying to focus on what could be like the positives of the situation. And I think that's just like a personal thing because I'm also very much, in trying to work on myself and like how I'm addressing the situation. So yeah.
So would you say that before you started to do that work on yourself, you would be like, oh yeah, dating is actually hard in Dubai?
Like it's like playing this defensive kind of role in like, oh, things are happening to me and everything is bad or whatever. I think it's like if you try to just be at peace with yourself and find self-love, and sounds cliche, but I think part of it is true. If you find that self-love, you're not maybe chasing or going after the wrong thing or the wrong person.
Yeah.
You might be making more space for the right person, whatever that right person may be.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
Or yeah, just having a different perspective, I guess.
No, I like it, to be fair. I agree with you. I still believe that whatever we say to each other is what not to each other, to ourselves is what is bound to happen.
Yeah.
The brain listens to what you say, and yet here along, I still find my friends finding love.
Yeah.
I still find my friends getting married.
Of course, yeah.
Happily married, Like, for example, I am someone I just can't with dating sites. I've tried it. I've given it a shot.
Dating what?
Sites like dating.
Oh, right. Okay, the apps and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I did it.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not a bit of me because I've tried it and I've tried it and I've tried it. And it's just like, I don't have time. Like, I don't even have time for myself sometimes. So I'm like, if I'm going to go on an app and then swipe right, swipe left, and then engage in a conversation that will potentially be useless.
Yes. Yeah. Most of the time, that's how it is. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'd rather not go into but yet again, I've seen people who found love and everything.
Right. I've also been on dating apps a lot when I was living in the US. When I moved back to Dubai, I was on it for a little bit, went on a few dates, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. But I've had some success, especially when I was in the US. I went on many dates. And my experience was great.
Did you enjoy it?
I ended up being in maybe like two relationships. Like one lasted about 4 months and another one lasted about 4 months, but we met on the apps. And I don't think it's all bad.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on person to person and also maybe where you're located and what you're looking for.
I agree.
So I've had success with that. But right now, I'm not really in the mindset to do that. And I haven't had success in Dubai with it. So
would you say that, have you been in a relationship, like a proper relationship in Dubai?
Since I moved back, no. Like not in a committed relationship, no. I've been on dates, maybe dated somebody for a little bit, but nothing really materialized.
How do you feel about that?
I think it has a lot to do with a lot of stuff. I think it has a lot to do with even just where I'm at in my life right now. Just, for context, people that don't know my story, it's leaving, an engineering career and then choosing to go all in on my creative career of being an artist. And it's a lot of self-development. It's like self-development on crack. And so I'm working on myself, I'm working on my business and building something. And I think for somebody to kind of melt into my world is a lot different now than it used to be before.
Yeah.
And so I think it's much harder maybe to find that person that would match that energy right now.
Mm.
So nothing seems to stick. And I'm like, that's okay. If it's not meant for me, it's all right. I'm going to let it go. But yeah, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there are a lot of things happening in my life and there's big changes. So
Okay.
I'm trying not to force myself into finding a partner, just like I said earlier, just for the sake of companionship, but to really allow myself to also figure out like really who I am.
Of course.
Because I feel like I'm constantly transforming and, morphing into a new version of myself. And so I want to keep space to find somebody that really gets it.
Yeah.
And that I get them and we can be partners versus just be like, oh, here's my boyfriend and we date, whatever,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like leveling up from dating.
Yeah, I guess in a way.
Yeah. But these people that you met or had certain dates has been part of your artistic journey as well.
Yes.
And they've been a success. Let's talk about it. Like I obviously they've inspired a lot of your work. Talk to me about these guys that inspired them work.
I feel like I'm having my Taylor Swift moment. Yeah, I think, well, one of them, or at least the first one was my last relationship, my last long relationship, which the irony, it was a situationship and it was like a secret relationship for reasons that maybe I will not discuss. But the thing is that from that serious relationship, situationship came a lot of writing. So I write and I journal. And from that came a lot of art and very expressive writing. And so recently the ghosting thing that I just told you about, I wrote about it.
Okay.
I haven't published it, but all I'll say is that I titled it Emotional Paper Cut.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
And I was just like in the feels. I was so angry. I was like frustrated that this was happening. And so I wrote about it. And that was so cathartic for me because now when I go back and I read it, I was like, haha. It was cool in the moment. And I got to express myself, but then it was a moment for me to learn and grow from that experience. So when I go back and I read these pages that I wrote, and I was like, one of them is called Drunk Text because I had texted my ex a year after we had, broken up, and I'm here and he's in the US, whatever. Anyways, it's like a good session of being like, okay, this is what you felt in the moment, and that was okay. Now you've grown, maybe you don't think the same way or you don't feel the same way. Hopefully you don't feel the same way. But it's inspired a lot of paintings and art and spoken word. And I think that's just amazing.
I mean, I love it because I always told you it's a kind of therapy for yourself.
Yeah.
Because obviously you go through these, obviously every relationship, whether that's a relationship or a situationship or someone that we just meet and come across, they mark ourselves. They always come for a purpose, whether that is to teach a lesson, whether that is just for fun, whether that is about actually understanding what we really want in a partner. I think that's very important, and not see these failures per se as something bad, but just as a blessing that, hey, it didn't work out, but I've learned that. Yeah. If you think about, for example, now let's talk about the guy who ghosted you.
Yeah.
That is something that for me, and correct me if I'm wrong, imagine someone that is just ghosting you like this. And let's say a couple of weeks or week or days down the line, he reaches out to you and he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I was busy with something. And I still like you whatsoever. And then let's say supposedly this would have evolved into a relationship. But imagine how that relationship could have been, knowing that already you had the sign that he's going to potentially be ghosting you or letting you down or
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your take on that?
I saw it as this was rejection. And,
Okay.
it wasn't a failure or whatever. It was rejection. It
Mm-hmm.
really was. And I think it's so hard as women when we reach out to somebody and we initiate and then we get rejected. But I was like, okay, this is one, it's either redirection or it's protection. And I've heard people say this all the time when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to rejection. And so I'm looking at it as it's both. It's redirection because obviously I'm redirecting my energy to keep working on myself, my business, my career, my goals, all of that, and to making space and energy for new people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's protection too,
Mm-hmm.
because if said person can't really communicate, like communication is a form of respect as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if he's not able to communicate, he doesn't respect me.
Yeah.
So I'm protecting myself from
Right.
continuing to be disrespected. And so I'm protecting myself by creating this boundary and not letting that kind of perpetuate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, rejection. I'm like, I see it as data. I'm like, that's fine. I was in my fields. I had that moment. And then I look at it a bit more critically and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I read about it. And then we process and we move.
So but on that initial state, when that day when you felt rejected, how were you?
Oh, I was miserable.
Yeah.
I was, I couldn't, that was the only thing that was on my mind. And it was so hard because, I'm like, oh, it's been a day. He hasn't responded. It's been 2 days. And I had actually messaged him telling him about how I felt about him after we had gone out twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like we said it was a date or we didn't kind of, but, it's contextualized in a bit. So I felt really crap because I told him that I was attracted to him and how I felt about him. And it was like 1 day went by, 2 days went by, the third day went by, and then he finally responded, giving me some other excuse, and then said that, thanks for sending that. And he's like, I don't really know what else to say, but let's hang out. And then weeks later, comes back and was like, hey, do you want to catch up this week?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, cool, like, what did you have in mind? It's been a month and he hasn't responded. And he reached out to me. He's like, hey, do you want to catch up this week? I'm like, okay, sure. And then nothing. So I'm like, this is so strange.
What is happening, people?
Yeah, it's so strange, but it is what it is. And I think it's hilarious.
I love how you see it now as it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because if I think about it, like when you're going through that feel, it is hard. I've been rejected before. And that's not even rejection straight to your face, but rejection that you won't be chosen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not his cup of tea.
Right.
Basically.
And then the first few thoughts that usually scrummage in your brain are, did I say something? Was I too much? Or did I do something wrong? Correct. Blah, blah, blah. So you start to doubt yourself.
Yes.
And that's the worst. It's the worst because it's obviously not the issue,
Yeah.
but we self-deprecate in the moment and it's so bad. And again, I went through that cycle. Mm-hmm. but I made my way out of it, with some time and, like I said, just giving myself some time and space and going through that emotion, allowing myself to go through that emotion.
I think that's very important. And I think that's good that you mentioned that because I think that's mainly a woman thing. Guys, if any guys are listening to this, do you feel that way when you feel rejected? Because obviously I don't know how a guy feel when they feel rejected by a woman. But I think for us women, when we feel rejected, we think it's us.
Yeah.
It's always us. We are too much. We didn't say the right thing. We didn't do the right thing. Or we were too obsessive or too this or too that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just that there's no connection.
Yeah.
It's just like it didn't click.
And that's okay. And I think that's where you have to like be able to talk to yourself and soothe yourself in the moment to be like, it's okay. And if it didn't click, it's for whatever reason, again, redirection, protection, see it as that.
Do you know what? I wish I knew that when I was going through these kind of rejection, because then what I would be, I'll be obsessed about. I remember there was this guy. So he didn't reject me, but I thought we had something. Put it like that, because we were talking. It's kind of like on a freaking not daily, but like we would talk, and it's not like your small message; it's your long message, and we'd talk about everything. And then I thought we had something, but that was me. Maybe yes, call me crazy. Yes, okay, maybe I was delulu,
It's not crazy.
and I thought, oh my god, we had an emotional connection. But then I was like, why you didn't kiss me? Why you didn't make the first step? Why is this? Why is that? Then when I kind of understood that, you know what? Maybe it's not going to work. Maybe he's not the one. Then I started to go in another obsession of like, who did he choose? Why is she better than me? This is the, and then you go and, you know, have you been through that?
Yeah.
And then you go and check their Instagram and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, so that's what you chose.
Yeah.
Like, and you did not choose me. I could have given you this. But again, I think that my problem is because when I like someone, I start picturing a future with them.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it. Not doing this anymore. I ain't doing it. So next guy, don't worry. If you ever move into my life, I'm not picturing a future with you. You've got a lot to prove before. Because I ain't going down that lane anymore. I've had enough of that. Do you do the same thing?
Subconsciously, I think yes. But only when it gets to a point where it's been serious for a while, or we've been dating for a while. Initially, not really. But like if we're say, oh my gosh, boyfriend, girlfriend, wow. Then maybe, depends. But
okay.
I feel like I have been there for sure.
And you've mentioned that you've been going on dates. Here and there.
Very rarely. The last time I think I went on an
that
unofficial
guy?
date was with that guy that I slid in his DMs and asked him out.
Okay.
And then he said yes. And I was like, cool, sick, let's go.
Do you know what? I don't remember the last time I went on a date. That's sad. That's very sad. Do you remember the last time you, obviously before him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it was like something that just didn't really pan out, you know. There's some dates and then we both ghosted each other and like
okay.
I'm like, okay, I guess it's not gonna work out. We both know we don't really feel it and cool, but
obviously as much as dating has not been like predominant. Ooh, that's a nice word. See, guys, I can speak English.
Of course.
Predominant.
Your English is great.
No, but sometimes I see, I don't find the word anymore. But anyway, so dating has not been very predominant right now because you just mentioned you're working on yourself. You're on that self-love journey, self-care. I've seen your journal that I downloaded that I really like.
Amazing.
It's really good. I honestly, I like it because I'll invite you guys to go check it out on Marlis's page. It's really good. Do you still have them?
Yeah. So it's the 30-day self-care reset. Yeah. I restarted it in August. So I'm like halfway through. And it's such a beautiful journey every time I commit to doing that because it's just about taking some time every day and just being a bit more mindful. And I love that. But I love that you downloaded it too.
Yeah,
that's great.
No, I really like it, honestly. I think it's a good way to kind of get into habits and kind of keeping on track of what you're doing and like, you know, being also conscious of what you're doing, you know, or how you feel, because it has a bit of everything. It has about what you're eating, what you're doing, how you're feeling. You know, it's like everything that you might be going in a daily, but on a page that you can just jog it.
You can write about things you're grateful for, and then it's like a whole page for you to journal whatever you want. And there's also a prompt. But I think it's a way to kind of keep yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Because no one's coming to save you, and you just need to take care of yourself. And so it's a way to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to do this for 30 days and maybe you can set a goal before you start the journey. For me, when I had first created it, it was going on a journey with food, which is a whole other different conversation. But that's kind of how it started when I created the 30-day self-care reset. But it went so much deeper than that because it's all about, yes, your food, yes, your movement, and all of those things. But it's also about where your head's at. So the journaling really does help bring
Mm-hmm.
it all
Yeah.
together. So
So
yeah.
where are you at the moment in that journey?
Um,
Are
I
you
mean,
doing it for like food wise, or are you doing it for yourself, or to kind of keep
um,
accountable?
I think it's for the whole like holistic experience, because I have some really big goals in my business right now. And so usually when I really lock in, I feel like I need something to kind of keep me accountable every
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
And so this is a way that I know if I'm trying to eat better, I'm trying to move for at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. And when you
Mm.
write it down, you keep yourself accountable, right?
Correct.
Because
True.
you can not write something down or write something else down, but then you're only lying to yourself.
True. I agree.
So, and then the journaling element keeps my mind obviously from spiraling. Or if I have a
Mm-hmm.
good day, I write about it. If I have a bad day, I write about it. Or have a regular day, you write about it. So
Yeah.
it's just a tool
Mm-hmm.
that is usually helps me achieve my goals.
Okay.
And the last time I did it was in April this year, and that's when I ended up in the boxing ring for the first time.
Yeah. How was that?
It was crazy. It was so crazy because I hadn't even trained for a whole year, and
You were just like, let's do it.
yeah, I went to the gym that was in this community that I recently moved into, and I went for a free trial, and they're like, "Oh, next week we have an opening at this internal league. Do you want to fight?" And I'm like, "What? Okay."
Okay, I love that. I
So
honestly
yeah,
love
it
it.
was really crazy. And then the journaling, obviously, for that 1 week that I had trained really
Mm-hmm.
hard, helped me kind of keep myself on track and not back out.
Oh, yeah, no, but I mean, it's part of the journey, and I actually love it. And honestly, well done for showing up. Like, it's not easy.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not easy going on that ring and be like, I'm gonna smash you.
Yeah. And I was having issues with my knee, and I still am. It's just like a whole thing. But I really just wanted to show up, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for me, regardless of what the outcome is gonna be. And it was just the coolest
I
experience.
love that. All right, so I've got something planned for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the What Ifs.
Oh.
Okay, but this is like dating edition,
Oh, okay.
and then we'll move to rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What if your partner never compliments you? Are they bad at expressing love, or is it a red flag?
Both. I mean, I don't know. I guess it could be a red flag, but I don't know if I would really focus on them being like complimenting me all the time, because then I don't know, this is hard. Maybe a little bit of both.
Okay, that works. What if they earn less money than you but treat you like royalty?
What was it? Am I
What if they earn less than
yeah.
you
Uh-huh.
but treat you like a princess?
Yeah, I
Or
think
a queen.
that's great. Yeah.
Okay. What if they refuse to follow you on Instagram?
That's just weird.
What if they don't want marriage but want a lifelong commitment?
I think I'm okay with that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I really care too much about marriage specifically. I think it's more so like the commitment and things outside of that. So yeah. I would be open to that conversation.
Okay, I like that. What if their friends don't like you? Like his friend don't like you.
Oh, it's their problem.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That I would consider that as a bit of a flag, because like
Okay.
why?
Yeah.
But also I wouldn't let that put too much weight on maybe
on-
our relationship. But
correct.
it would be tough.
Yeah, it would be. I think, and it depends which friends. If it's close friends or if it's like
Mm-hmm.
just friends.
Just friends.
Yeah. What if your family doesn't like him?
I think that's okay. There's some people in my family that I do care about their opinion, and I think if they don't like him, then that would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I would take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes, the closest people to you can see things that maybe you don't. Maybe you have like the rose tinted glasses. And,
Yeah, correct.
so I would take it with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Okay. What if they don't believe in anniversaries?
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if they always check their phone during dates?
We need to have a conversation about that.
I
Yeah.
agree. What if they're a great partner but terrible texter?
No, communication, bruh.
But
Just communication. It's a form of respect. Just please, just do better.
correct. Thank you. What if they flirt with the waitress but in a playful what if they flirt with the waitress in front of you?
Mhm.
Is it considered as playful or disrespectful? Like you're on a date.
I would find it kind of funny, to be honest, if this is like my boyfriend or my partner. I would find it a bit odd. If it was a playful thing on a first date or second date, I would maybe laugh it off.
Okay.
But if it happens all the time, I don't know about that.
What if they travel for work 6 months of the year?
That's okay as long as I can also travel too.
Okay.
If I can go with sometimes.
Okay. What if they're perfect for you but hate your favorite food?
That's all right.
Okay.
They don't have to like everything I eat or consume.
What if they're amazing but still live with their parents?
I'm sorry, are you 22? If you are, that's okay. Cool, bro. But no. For me, where I'm at right now, it's a no.
Okay. All right. So now we move to rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Because we don't have much minutes left.
All right.
Dating app or meeting in real life?
Meeting in real life.
First kiss on a first date, yes or no?
Yes.
Text reply, instant or hours later?
Either.
Okay. Just reply, don't ghost.
Just
Splitting the bill or one person pays?
If it's a first date, I think he should pay.
Okay. What's most attractive? Sense of humor or deep conversation?
Deep conversation.
Okay. What's a red flag? Bad manners or bad hygiene?
Both.
No, if you had to choose one of the biggest red flag. I think both, to be fair.
Both.
Yeah.
That's like I can't pick one.
Green flag. Good communication or emotional maturity?
Emotional maturity.
Okay. Would you date someone who doesn't drink?
Yes, I don't drink, so even better.
Would you date someone who doesn't want to have kids?
Yes.
What's more fun? A spontaneous partner or a planned partner?
It's spontaneous.
Okay. Would you move to another country for love?
Yes.
Crush on a friend, risk it or leave it?
Risk it. Do it for the plot, if anything.
Is falling in love fast a red flag for you?
No.
What's most attractive? Ambition or generosity?
Oh, generosity.
Okay. Who should text first after the first date?
It doesn't matter.
Never mind. Okay. Love at first sight, real or myth?
Some reality. More like lust at first sight. And then it might turn to love.
All right. Social media post about the relationship, cute or unnecessary?
Ooh, I think unnecessary.
Okay. More romantic, cooking for you or writing, cooking for you, him cooking for you, or writing you a letter?
Oh, I think a letter is so cute. Yeah.
I think that would be more you. For me, it's
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah, I mean, he should cook for me anyways, but still, like, I think a letter is so special.
I love that. Would you date someone who doesn't like your favorite music?
Maybe, yeah. That's
Okay.
fine.
Worst date ever, being late or being on their phone?
On the phone.
Okay. Dating someone with kids, open to it or not for you?
Potentially open to it.
Would you give someone a second chance after ghosting?
Depends on how long. So yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the end of Dating Diaries.
Oh.
But we should definitely do a part 2 very soon. However, before we leave, I saw your painting at the back.
Oh, yes.
Could you quickly tell us what your painting is about?
Yeah. So this painting is called The Search for Love Ends. And it's inspired by a journal page that I wrote a few years ago, which is about self-love.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically, it depicts that I want the search for love to end because I found it in myself.
This is
And I
beautiful.
know it sounds so cliche, but it's so cute. And I think that we need to stop trying to maybe like chase
Love.
after, yeah, because then we chase it away. Um
I
so
agree.
yeah, so I think the search for love in this case ended for me because I focus on at least working on
On
finding
this.
it in myself. That way I create space to find someone else. So yeah.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
One last dating advice before I close the episode. What is a message that you want to put about love or dating out there?
Ooh, don't take yourself so seriously. Like it's okay. If you quote unquote get rejected, it's all right. Just keep going or date the wrong person, do it for the plot and then come back and tell me about it.
Thank you so much, Marlis, for coming again on the podcast. And I'm looking forward to have you another time. You're always
Yay.
more than welcome here.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you, Mia.
And on that note, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.